All right, they are going to get gridded up here. And as you mentioned, Brandon Chappelle is going to start on the pole just to the inside of Richie Hearn.
William Fletcher and Ray Partridge make up row 2.
One of your series organizers, Mike Ouellette, starts off row 3 alongside Drew Lalonde.
Bob Beltrami starting in 7th, and outside of row 4, going to be Mark Herzog.
Jeremy Leto and C.R. Reed make up your last row. 10 drivers scheduled to start, and they're all here. Look back, and we got to go. The 5th position, this is Drew Lalonde. Man, he's trying. Look at him work this low. Where are you going, Drew? I told you don't know what you're going to get from this guy. The number 3 machine is all over the place.
It looks like it's someone who's struggling to really get the car to turn because it seems like he's either letting off the gas a little bit too much or letting off the gas not enough or whatever, or just not being able to rotate the car because it looks like he's struggling to get the thing to turn through the turns. And you're already seeing now he's going to have to worry about Mark Herzog, who is already coming up right behind him from that incident.
Herzog, though, is fighting with Bob Beltrami. They've been side by side for a number of laps. Finally, Herzog does a slide job on him, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hold on to it. As up and under goes Bob Beltrami. He slides between them. Oh, and he gets tipped around. Holds onto it. No caution. Goes backwards, and Mike Ouellette's going to take the position. Drew Lalonde, who did get passed earlier, he lost that 5th place to Jeremy Leto, that's sitting 6th now in the bubble spot. Herzog was given a go at Drew Lalonde, seeing if he could get into the 6th spot to give himself a chance at the top 5, but Lalonde is holding him off.
Yeah, and Jeremy Leto currently has that transfer spot position, so both of them are trying to get right up to him if they can with a few laps to go.
Unfortunately, we got to duck away from this because Richie Hearn just took the white flag as he comes around turns 3 and 4. The number 70 is going to take the win here at Eldora for heat number 5.
Chappelle, Partridge, yeah.
Chappelle, excuse me, in 2nd, Partridge 3rd. Fletcher going to come home 4th. Jeremy Leto with a great move earlier on in the race, grabbing him that transfer spot. Mark Herzog, unfortunately, just outside of it, even though he did get past Drew Lalonde, who finishes in 7th. Bob Beltrami, early problems sent him backwards, never recovered. He comes home in 8th. Mike Ouellette, same thing, finishing 9th. And C.R. Reed is going to be the last finisher here in the final heat. With that, we're going to take another break here on the Global Sim Racing channel. We're going to come back for the last chance qualifier.
All right, guys. Your friendly admin George here. Please don't do anything tonight to make me unfriendly because I will have very little tolerance for anything. This is a short track. Things happen quick. Caution laps happen quick, and there's only one of me. So I will be somewhat cranky already to start, if you get my meaning. Other than that, it's 100 laps. If you've ever driven on dirt before, it's very slippery tonight. Take your time. You've got all race to get there, okay? Have fun. If you cause a caution, first one's going to be EOL, second one's going to be a black flag, and then the third one I'm just going to fuck you, alright? So, please don't be anything on the mic. I know it's a short track, I know it's dirt racing, I know things get said. I've said plenty of things before. I've gotten in fights before. It's not enjoyable. I'm not going to tolerate it either, okay? So, if you act up on the mic, I'm just going to mute you. Other than that, have at it. Now, if I seem extra cranky tonight, it's because I have to work early tomorrow morning with a whole bunch of little kids, and, well, school teaching is not really what I like to do on my holiday off. So, I apologize.
It's okay, you're on the race, Cindy.
Checkered flag is out. We're going to get gridded up here in a moment for the A main, the finale here for the Dirt Late Model Dream, presented by Agent Tux. Trevor Vovroski is going to be starting on the pole, followed by Trevor Clement on the outside of the front row.
Chad Barker and Brian Barnes in row 2.
Richie Hearn starts alongside Brandon Chappelle in the 3rd row.
In 7th, it'll be Travis Henderson. And in 8th, Joshua Wolf.
The little train, Lionel Callisto and D. Palmer, 9th and 10th.
Rob Gal will start off in 11th spot alongside Nick Cohn.
Brian Worley starts in 13th with Wayne Hutchison beside him in the 14th position.
We just talked to him on an interview. Ray Partridge going to be inside of William Fletcher.
Lynn Kinchlow will start off in the row following them in 17th. Brian Bennett, the Legends Division leader, in 18th.
Thomas Lovelady, winner of our first round, will be starting in 19th. Jared Morgan next to him in the 20th position.
Ernie Flip Your Ludwig in the blackjack position. Michael Thompson in the double duck spot.
Clark Archer starts off in 23rd position alongside the Canadian Jeremy Tester.
Jeremy Leto, we were corrected on some of our pronunciation on his name, 25th, and Mark Herzog, 26th.
Brian Grandin, that's Brian with a Y, is going to be inside of Brian with an I, McGreevy. And there's your 28 drivers.
Starting on lap 5, once again, our first restart of the night, Trevor Clement getting himself a good run. Chad Parker up around the outside, using the momentum. A couple cars sliding up into the wall.
And we got a caution already behind them, as it looks like a few cars went around, including Jeremy Tester.
That was Wolf, I think, the first one to get up into the outside. He was helped, I believe.
I think it was the 17 Wayne Hutchinson maybe starts it.
And that is Kinchlow who went around that brought out the yellow, and then Tester barely avoided it around, and Kinchlow drove a bit backwards and had the pace car drive through him. So that could have almost been disaster trying to turn it back around.
Yeah, you know, right, it was Kinslow. There was some checking up going on. You're absolutely right.
And Lovelady ended up bumping to the back of him with that checkup, in fact.
Well, the first lap or two seemed like a good sign for the racing, and then now we've had some caution fever with two in quick succession here at Eldora. If you're just joining us, this is the Pacific Major Round 9, their first time ever doing dirt, with a mix of experience out there, some proving a little bit more adept than others.
I'm going to make this next point, and I hope you can. I hope I can do it with a cheerful tone in my voice. There is a fast repair tonight.
Yes, unfortunately, great for drivers, can sometimes be a cause of a few more cautions here for us in the booth as it keeps more drivers out on track. We can hope that that is not the case tonight as drivers gain more experience. Now, did they just give Brian Barnes an end of line?
Yeah, look
Yes,
at this.
they did, and Jeremy Leto. And it looks like a delayed green as well, as it looks like a couple cars having to stop while pulling to the back. But yeah, that is involving that first caution that they initially ruled a self-spin. Now they're sending those two to the back.
Strike one, 181.
Sorry, Brian. I'm trying to get this thing loaded up. Didn't know you were underneath.
Saying let the pace truck by. What do?
Sorry guys, I reviewed the first caution. It was in fact actually on the floor with contact with 30. I'm working as fast as I can.
Respectfully disagree, but okay.
Hey, George, just to let you know, I'm gonna have to box here real quick. I got a penalty for passing the pace car for some reason. Holding low, I gotta serve a pass.
Yeah, and it looks like you mentioned Worley. He's starting to make a little bit of a charge, making a few passes, trying to get to the top 5, battling alongside of Kalisto. In fact, there's some trouble in second and third.
Yeah, that was Richie Hearn getting pushed around just a little bit by Travis Henderson. Both of them collected it up and got it straight, and Chad Parker just behind them. And this is causing a chain reaction just behind them as a number of cars are having to find space, getting opportunities, seeing if they can be aggressive, many of them backing out of it.
A real slow forming chain reaction. It took a long time, but it bounced back, went way back to mid-pack.
This has allowed Trevor Clement a gap of about a second over Richie Hearn. Caution flag is out. Is this Wayne Hutchison, maybe? Yeah, looks like Wayne Hutchison. Started a little bit ahead of him as cars getting into one another caused him to check up. He runs into the car of Lynn Kinchlow, and then Jeremy Lado unfortunately shoves him into the wall inadvertently.
And that is a very hard hit too. That's going to turn his late model into a modified instead. So Hutchinson not having the best of A mains he wants to see. I don't know if he's used his one fast repair already or not. So that could be a costly one too. In fact, he just used it right there, and immediately it is back to a late model.
Exactly. The cars that caused the checkup that gave him that damage was Jeremy Tester and Michael Thompson. And the stewards are discussing what caused the caution. They're always trying to make sure if anything needs a penalty or if anybody needs a little bit of talking to, they check it out thoroughly.
It's always good to make sure what's going on, especially with the fact that if you cause a caution, you will be one of the drivers getting black flags in this situation. They want to make sure they get it right. You do not want to make a mistake in that kind of call if you're in the spotter stand, or the race official stand, I should say.
So down the lane that you're down inside. Ryan. I was actually going to apologize to you, man.
Sorry for getting in the back of you there, Richie. I thought I was going to be able to get around the outside, and you just kind of hung there. My bad.
No worries, when in doubt, throttle out.
That got real hairy. I'm surprised the three of us got out of that because I was in the back of the 124.
It's just in behind you. That was good running. I mean, I think we were 3 wide for a couple laps there, it seemed. I have no idea what caused the caution. If I had to guess, it was the 270 getting a little more in sideways, but no fault.
Ryan, how about Richard there under the whole checkup? I tagged you in the back just gently enough as I got you up into the hole.
Almost halfway through this race, the green flag flies again as Trevor Clement leads the field on another restart. Down into 1 and 2. Chad Barker just seems to find the grip off of the corner every time we look at him. He had his momentum interrupted by our leader Clement, couldn't do anything with it. Holds behind for now. All he needs is one of those bonsai runs off the bend and getting some clean air down to the inside. Doesn't do it this time.
And we got another caution as cars going around in 2. That is going to be Ernie Ludwig, I think, who went around that time around.
We'll look at the replay.
Now, Ludwig did have an internet issue where he lost connection of the race for a lap, putting him a few laps down. As you can, it was ahead of him.
It was Lato, I
believe. That was Kinch. Possibly Kinchlow or Lato?
Yeah, I saw Lato go around the 360 and manage to continue on. They were going to see on the replay. Gets a little bit of help from behind as he was starting to turn the driver in front of him and was trying to keep from pushing him the rest of the way around. As we come back live.
It really is just. Have you ever gone to the carnival? You know, we use the car bumper cars. It really looks like that. I mean, it really looks like they're out on a grease track. I almost want to see like a little kid sitting on a dad's lap and the kid, doing the wheels and the dad pushing the button to get the car to go. You know, the ticket taker hanging off the side of the car. It's really a mess back there.
Oh, and Jeremy Lato was not only given a DOL for that incident, he was black flagged for a second incident. So second strike for Jeremy has put him under the gun. He's probably going to lose a lap for that one. Let's give you our top 10 real quick as they've extended the caution one more lap.
Back at you, back at you.
Hey, the yellow's out. So who's trying to turn me right there, huh? Nice job, Ray. Thanks, Brandon. That was work, man.
Hey, Ronald, just to let you know, I don't think it'll affect you, but you've got no front end in your car. Look like a modifying.
Sorry, brought to you by 686, second strike, it's black flag.
I'm just now used 4 rounds of fuel since the start.
Man, if somebody had gambled on that 10-gallon strap.
Yeah, I added an extra gallon from what I had, thinking, you know what, we're not going to have as many cautions as I think we're going to, and guess not.